What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Bluebird Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, current unified British heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua has regained his status and place at the top of the heavyweight division. There being the three-headed monster is back intact with undefeated Olympic bronze medalist, WBC American heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, with undefeated British lineal heavyweight world champion Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, and now Anthony Joshua has regained his place back in the top three, the three-headed monster, right? As he's the unified heavyweight world champion. He holds the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, and the IBO titles, right? So with that said, obviously, the sport of boxing, he got his big victory. He got his payback, so to speak, against Andy Ruiz Jr., who upset him June 1st in Madison Square Garden. With that said, we always look into the future in the sport of boxing. We look into the future before the fight even takes place. So with that said, we're all looking to see what's Anthony Joshua's next move going to be. And we all want to see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder finally grace the squared circle with their presence and give us that undisputed bout, right? With that said, Deontay Wilder will be taking on Tyson Fury February 22nd. And Anthony Joshua has just announced that he will be making a ring return in March. More than likely, that fight will be against Kubrat Pulev for the mandatory IBF challenge, right? He's going to vacate the WBO belt. I told you guys what the situation was going to be as far as Anthony Joshua, if he was to beat Andrew Ruiz, and how it will play out. I'll break it down for you once again. The WBO mandatory is Alexander Usyk, who Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter of Anthony Joshua, has stock and stake in Alexander Usyk's career and guides his career, as well as Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is, British superstar over in the UK, right? Yeah, you look at his resume and you say he has 9 losses, but that means nothing. They still come out and support him. He still gives you action-packed fights. So Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora are scheduled to do battle, right? With that said, they were waiting to see the outcome of this fight. Why? Because Anthony Joshua will vacate the WBO belt. That way, Eddie Hearn, who still has control of what direction Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora winner goes in. So they win, right? They win that bout. They'll fight for the vacant WBO bout. He'll vacate the WBO. Usyk is the mandatory for that. So that fight would be for the vacant WBO. It's a possibility Joseph Parker could throw his hat into the mix, but more than likely it'll be Derek Chisora and Alexander Usyk, right? So the IBF is Kubrat Pulev, who is with Bob Arum, Top Rank, and ESPN. So if he vacates the IBF and Kubrat Pulev gets a hold of the IBF, it's going to be very, very difficult to regain that IBF belt. As Kubrat Pulev, Eddie Hearn doesn't have any direction. He doesn't control what direction Kubrat Pulev goes in. So if Kubrat Pulev gets a hold of the belt, it's a possibility he doesn't give Anthony Joshua an opportunity to regain that belt. Kubrat Pulev will fight somebody for the vacant IBF belt. He'll win the belt. More than likely, it won't be a big name fight. It'll be somebody he more than likely will have a huge chance of beating. Kubrat Pulev will get the belt, and then Kubrat Pulev, would be controlling his own destiny and controlling the destiny of the IBF. So it'd be very difficult for Anthony Joshua. He beats Alexander Usyk for the WBO. It's gonna be hard for him to regain the IBF, right? But if he right now fights Kubrat Pulev, beats Kubrat Pulev, then he could go back and regain his WBO belt that he vacated because it's under the same umbrella. So you see, it's simple mathematics, right? It's a way for him to continue to keep his belts. And if he beats Kubrat Pulev, keeps the IBF, and let's say Alexander Usyk is to beat Derek Chisora in a big fight, guess what? Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua for unification bout is a huge bout. You understand? So it has huge implications on it. It's 2 big names in the sport. It only makes sense. You understand? So that would be his 2-fight plan in 2020. Don't expect to see him fight Deontay Wilder. As he stated, he's ready to fight Deontay Wilder. He says, but Deontay Wilder has to. He's fighting Tyson Fury, and he says, good for them. That's a good fight for the heavyweight division, and he will be watching. He says he's ready to fight Deontay Wilder, as you know, everybody's going to be talking about it. But, he has to satisfy his mandatory. So while Wilder's going to fight Tyson Fury, he's going to satisfy his mandatory. So he's going to face Kubrat Pulev, and then he said anybody could get it. But he said good for them, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. That he said that's a huge fight for the sport. That's a huge fight for the division. Another big fight, in the near future. He says that, but he's not going to look at Deontay Wilder because he got to look what's in front of him, and that's his mandatory. He'll be back in March. Wilder's fighting in February. Obviously, he's not going to fight Wilder anytime soon, right? So his next fight is going to be February. He wants to make a quick turnaround. So he wants to go ahead and satisfy and get Kubrat Pulev out the way. Now, once he defeats Kubrat Pulev and Deontay Wilder defeats Tyson Fury, of course, it's going to pick up steam. It's going to pick up attraction. It's going to pick up interest. Everybody's going to want to see it, and they're going to call for it. But don't expect it to happen. Expect, if he beat Kubrat Pulev in March, expect Anthony Joshua to fight the winner, Alexander Usyk, Derek Chisora. More than likely it'll be Alexander Usyk, but I personally am going to favor Derek Chisora to win the fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alexander Usyk wins the fight. So Alexander Usyk wins the fight. Expect to see Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk sometime in September or so, right? Late August, early September, something like that. Then it leaves room for a December showdown between Wilder and Joshua. Let's say Deontay Wilder go ahead and fight Tyson Fury, beats Tyson Fury in February. Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua fight somewhere in September. Then Deontay Wilder could possibly fight in May. Maybe May he fights Dillian White, right? Go ahead and fight Dillian White in May, right? And then December, we can push for Undisputed, Joshua and Deontay Wilder at the end of the year. This is December. December 7th, we just got the huge fight. So December 7th, somewhere around this time next year, 2020, that would be a mega fight, right? It'll be for Undisputed. At that point, Deontay Wilder would have beaten Dillian White. Deontay Wilder would have beaten Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua regained the belts from Andy Ruiz. He would have beaten, at that point, Kubrat Pulev, and he would have beaten Alexander Usyk, would be good for the sport of boxing. And then these two come together, and they have their clash, and we see the outcome. Me, personally, I'm favoring Deontay Wilder. Why? Because I like the style, like the adjustments that Anthony Joshua made. Still in all, Deontay, he will still always be in range for Deontay Wilder, unlike Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. is too small. He's too short. So Anthony Joshua's game plan was perfect for what Andy Ruiz Jr. was and is, right? So Andy Ruiz Jr. just don't have the arm reach and the length and the foot speed to keep up with Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua fights in that style, point blank and period. So, but Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, doesn't have to worry about cutting the ring off because he's taller and he's lanky and he's longer than Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua, the style he used yesterday is not going to work against Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder will always be in range. When he used that style against Andrew Ruiz was not in range. So that's the difference. And Deontay Wilder is a one-punch knockout artist. So once that one-punch touched Anthony Joshua, that's all she wrote, right? Because Anthony Joshua answered a lot of questions yesterday. He answered the stamina question. He answered the IQ question. He answered the footwork question. He answered the ability and the agility question, right? He showed the most agility, the most footwork, the ring IQ, discipline. He showed all that. He answered all that question. But guess what? One question he didn't answer, he didn't check that box off, and that's the question of his chin. And the reason I say that is because when Andy Ruiz did touch his chin, he still was wobbled, right? So when Andy Ruiz touched him once in a while in the fight, the little times he did touch him, he had success in hurting Anthony Joshua. And so guess what? And if Andy Ruiz can hurt you, Deontay Wilder can destroy you. So guess what? Deontay Wilder lands one of those big punches, That's all she wrote. It's good night, Irene. But guess what? I can't wait to see that fight, as that is going to be the hugest fight in the sport of boxing in recent memory outside of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Believe that. But that's all I got for y'all. So guess what? Deontay Wilder, and not to mention, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter of Anthony Joshua, does not want to see that fight happen anytime soon. Eddie Hearn knows the outcome. Eddie Hearn is in fear of that. Andrew Ruiz put the fear in Anthony and Eddie Hearn, right? And Eddie Hearn don't want to see it again. He wants to capitalize as much as he can for as long as he can on Anthony Joshua's career. Eddie Hearn knows what it is, so Eddie Hearn is going to avoid that by any means necessary. That's the reason why you hear Eddie Hearn trying to cause confusion, telling the people that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury never wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. That's the furthest thing from the truth. That is the furthest thing from the truth, right? So when you hear Eddie Hearn talking like this, of course, Eddie Hearn is in fear. Eddie Hearn knows the outcome. Eddie Hearn saw it all go down the drain when Andrew Ruiz dropped him and knocked him and ultimately stopped him in June 1st. Now he revived his career and he's back on the incline. Eddie Hearn is not trying to see that go back on the decline. So you can listen to Eddie Hearn if you want to, as Eddie Hearn is going to spew nonsense and an agenda to try and push away from the fight and tell you guys that Eddie Hearn, that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are not looking to make the fight. That's going to be his game plan. You're going to hear Eddie Hearn continue to tell you this story over and over again, but he's not going to tell you that he entered in negotiations. If that's the case, then send them over a contract. Initiate negotiations. Let's see if they truly don't want the fight. Call Eddie Hearn's bluff. Point blank and period. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.